Good morning, students. Welcome to the next class on electrostatics. Today we shall be discussing about electric dipoles and their electric fields. Before discussing, I had given some assignments. 2 assignments I have given so far. I hope you have been trying them. And again, I urge you to do them sincerely. And whatever your doubts are there, please put them in the queries given in the required link. Before proceeding to the electric dipole, I would like to discuss one of the queries. This is a question based on Coulomb's law or electric field. Here there is a ring on which charge Q, capital Q, is uniformly distributed on its circumference. This ring has a radius r. On its axis, at a distance x from the center, there is another point charge at point P. That point charge is Q, the small q. You have to find the force, Coulombic force between these two charges. Now directly we cannot apply the Coulomb's law, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. If you are thinking Q into Q by x square as the answer, I am afraid that may not be the correct one. Reason, whenever you use this formula, remember this formula is the Coulomb's law, which is valid for 2 point charges, say Q1 and Q2. If point charges are separated by a distance x, then this formula will be true. Here small q is point charge given, but the capital Q is an extended charge. The entire charge is distributed on the periphery of a ring. So although we have to use Coulomb's law, but we have to take the help of integration. To solve such questions wherein you don't have a point charge, rather extended charge distribution, the best thing is to take a element, charge element. I'll call it as dq. I'll choose a small charge element over here. This is so very small that we can take it as a point charge. Due to this point charge, at this point P, the electric field can be found. This electric field due to this element at point P, I will denote it by dE, and it should be like so. I'll call it as dE vector. What should be the expression for this dE vector? This dE vector, its magnitude will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Now, first of all, actually we have to find force, but I am interested in finding the electric field at this point P, because you know that this force F vector on the charge Q will be given by the formula, the charge multiplied by electric field at that point. First I will find electric field at this point P due to this charge configuration, then I will multiply that electric field with this charge Q, I will get the force. So the question reduces from finding the force to finding the electric field. So we have chosen this element. So this dE will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That charge element is dq by this distance is square. This distance I will call it as suppose r. So r is square. This electric field can be divided into 2 components, can be resolved into 2 components like so. I choose these angles as theta. Now why are those 2 angles equal? Those 2 angles are vertically opposite angles. So this component will be dE cos theta and the other component will be dE sin theta. Before integrating, let's see one more element over here which will lie at a point diametrically opposite to this element, that is this place. Here I will choose another element dq. Due to this element, the electric field will be in this direction, away from the element, like so. it will have also value dE. Now why same value? Because the charge elements dq they are same, and this distance are also same. This can also be resolved into two components. One component will be along the axis, that is dE cos theta, and the other component will be like so, that is dE sin theta. If you see carefully, students, this component dE sin theta due to these two elements will cancel. So the components dE sin theta components, due to diametrically opposite points, they will cancel. This is true for all such pairs of elements which are diametrically opposite. So the components perpendicular to the axis, that is dE sin theta, they will cancel, but the component which is along the axis, that is dE cos theta, for all those elements, they will be in same direction, so they will add up. So the dE cos theta component due to all elements, they will add up. Therefore, the net electric field must be directed along the axis, because the perpendicular components, that is components perpendicular to the axis, have cancelled. Only those components are left behind which are directed along the axis, that is dE cos theta components. So on adding also, the net vector will be along the axis. So this is the direction of net electric field. Now what about the magnitude? The magnitude of net electric field should be the summation of this dE cos theta, for which we have to integrate it. So this is our answer. Now how do we integrate that? For that, first you have to substitute the value of dE, and we have to substitute the value of cos theta. So let's see. So this is equal to integration of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This will become dq by r square times cos theta. In this triangle you can choose cos theta. Now this is your radius, that is capital R. Cos theta in this triangle will be base upon hypotenuse. This base is nothing but the distance x, and hypotenuse is nothing but r. So this r and r square will become r cube. So I am writing directly. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will come out of the integration because it is a constant. In this expression, x is also constant, r is also constant. So all those terms will come out. So x upon 4 pi epsilon naught r cube integral dq. Now dq is the small charge element. On integrating, we get the total charge on this particular ring. The total charge on the ring was given to be capital Q. So this we can replace by capital Q. So this is the answer. Now in this expression, we can put the value of small r. Small r, you can see, students, that using Pythagoras theorem you can write under root r square plus x square in this triangle. Put that value of r, you will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q x upon r cubes. R I will write as root under radius square plus axial distance square root. Root means power half, and then this is power 3. So half and 3 you will multiply, you will get 3 by 2. So this is the expression for electric field on the axis of the given ring. So we are done almost completely to this particular problem, because if we know the electric field, we also know the force. So therefore you can write the force, Coulombic force on the charge small q which is placed at this point, that F will be directed along the axis. So you can write it yourself. I am just writing the magnitude. That F will be small q times E. Small q times E means this will become 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q small q x upon r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2. This is the answer. to this particular question. I will add something over here, students. Let us consider the electric field value on the axis at a distance x. So due to a uniformly charged ring, the electric field is axial and its value is given by this particular formula. What happens at the center of the ring? You can see at the center of this ring, what will happen to this value of x? It will reduce to 0. And when x becomes 0, this term, entire term will become 0. And this is what we know, that at the center of a ring, the electric field must be 0. That you can also argue in another fashion, that if you choose an element here and if you choose an element on diametrically opposite point, these two elements will create electric field in opposite direction, which will cancel each other. This is true for all other pairs of points on diametrically opposite points, and therefore as a whole the electric field will be 0. But this is a more generalized form of this version. From this we can derive this result, that at the center of this ring electric field will be 0. Please listen carefully. I am going to give you one task. So at center, I argued that E is equal to 0 since x is equal to 0. If you move to infinite separation from this particular ring, along this axis you move very far, then that x will become infinity. At infinity, that means when x tends to infinity, your denominator has x square term, x square to the power 3 by 2, that becomes x cube, and in numerator there is x. So you have x in numerator, you have x cube in denominator, so this will increase rapidly being a cube. So when x tends to infinity, this factor will tend to 0. So at infinity, you can use the concepts of limits in mathematics. If you have read, you can see that when x tends to infinity, this term again tends to 0. So electric field becomes 0 at x is equal to infinity. Now my question to you is that at center electric field is 0, at infinite separation also electric field is 0. In between these 2 points there is some value of electric field. So if electric field is 0 here at x is equal to 0, and electric field is 0 at x is equal to infinity, then there must be some peak. It will first rise to some maximum value and then fall to 0. You have to find that maximum value of electric field. Now this is the task for you. The first thing, let me give you the hint for that. You already know the expression for electric field. You have to find x. That means you have to find that distance on the axis where the electric field is maximum. Number 1. Second, you also try to find what is that maximum value of electric field. Once you get x, put that value of x in this expression, you will get the value of maximum electric field. How to find x when electric field is maximum? So you have to use the concept of calculus. Electric field is given to you. E will be maximum when dE by dx is equal to 0. This much hint I have given. If I remember correctly, the value of x answer I am giving so that you can check, it should be plus minus a by root 2. I may not be correct, but I think this is the correct answer. So please use this concept, solve it. You will get the value of x as a by root 2 plus and minus. Put that value of x in this expression, you will get the maximum value of electric field. I have given sufficient hints, students. Now let us proceed to today's topic on electric dipole. Electric dipole, as you can see written over here, it is a pair of oppositely charged but identical charges which are separated by a very small distance. For example, you can have an electron and a proton. They have equal but opposite charges and separated by a small distance. That will constitute an electric dipole. This is the schematic representation. Here I have two charges, minus q, plus q, and the separation I have written as 2a. There is no harm in writing a, but some of our calculations will get simplified if we take 2a. So we take separation between the two charges as 2a. So this is di. Di means 2. There are 2 poles. That's why it is referred to as electric dipole. There is a term called as electric dipole moment, which we denote as P vector. It is a vector quantity. Its direction is from negative charge of the dipole minus q to plus q. Okay. This is the direction for the dipole moment vector, and its magnitude, P vector magnitude, is the product of either of the charge, magnitude of the charge, into separation between them. You can see the separation between them is 2a and the magnitude of the charge is q. So this is the value for dipole moment. Now in vector notation, if you wish to write, then you can write P vector is equal to q into 2a. This is the magnitude. What about direction? Direction is from negative to the positive charge. So negative to positive charge, this is the direction of dipole moment. In this direction, if we choose a unit vector, that will denote as P cap. So I will write here P cap. What is P cap there? P cap is unit vector. Where is it oriented? Directed from the negative charge minus q to the positive charge plus q. So this is about electric dipole moment. So remember, it has a value, that is the charge multiplied by separation between them, and its direction is along P cap, that is directed from minus q to plus q. Next, we would like to discuss how to calculate electric field on the axis of dipole. This is a dipole, minus q plus q are the charges, separation between the charges is 2a, and from its center at distance r, at this point we wish to find electric field. The principle of superposition can be used, students. Due to positive charge, the electric field will be directed away from it like so. This we will call as E plus vector. And due to the negative charge, the electric field will be directed towards it at this point. So due to minus q, at this point electric field will be like so, and this will write as E minus. That minus and this plus, simply it denotes that it is there the electric field due to the plus q charge and the minus q charge. Let's see their values. If you note carefully, I have drawn this blue arrow smaller. Reason, minus q to this point distance is large, whereas plus q to this point distance is small. Since this distance is small, electric field must be large. So they will not cancel completely, but there will be partial cancellation. So what is the value of electric field due to the positive charge? It will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, that charge q divided by distance square. Now from this point q to this point, what is the distance? This was our dipole. So this distance will be, we have to find this distance. This distance will be this total, that is r, minus this one. You can see this distance is r, from that I have to subtract this, but this distance is half of 2a. So this distance is nothing but a. So from r, if I reduce a, I will get this distance, that is r minus a. Likewise, distance of this point from the plus minus q charge will be how much? You can check it out. This will be r plus a. So E plus will be here r minus a whole square. Now if I write the vector, this is the magnitude, then direction. Direction is indicated by this arrow. This direction is along P cap. Now what is P cap here? If you remember, I have told P cap is the unit vector directed from minus q to plus q. You can see these two arrows are pointing in same direction. So I will write here P cap. Then what about E minus vector? E minus vector will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, charge is q. Now you might think that here it's minus q, but because I am writing the magnitude part, so don't bother about sign. Q upon distance square. From here to this point the distance is r plus a, so this will be r plus a whole square. Now what is the direction of E minus vector? It is opposite to E plus, and I can say it is opposite to P cap. Since this direction is opposite to P cap, I cannot write here P cap, rather I should write minus P cap. So we have got E plus and E minus. Net electric field on the axis, which I will write as E axial, will be E plus vector plus E minus vector from principle of superposition. Now when you add these two vectors, what we will get is this. You can take 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught as common, you can take Q also as common, and you can take P cap also common. Now what will be left behind is this 1 by r minus a whole square plus, sorry, this is minus sign, so it will be minus 1 upon this one, r plus a whole square. This can easily be solved. This, on solving, will get this much. I have not explained this step. Just you have to take the LCM. This will become r square minus a square whole square. This minus this, easily will get 4ar. This q, this p cap remain as such. I'll modify this equation a bit. This 4 I can write as 2 into 2. Then you see this term q into 2a and this p cap. So I'll put q into 2a and p cap. If you remember, this is the definition for dipole moment vector, which we will write as p vector. I can replace this q into 2a and p cap with p vector, that is the dipole moment, and therefore our E axial will become how much? This vector will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This 2 will be there, then q2a and p cap will become p vector, then there is r, and in denominator there will be r square minus a square whole square. We will discuss one special case. We shall discuss about the situation wherein this distance r, that is the distance of the point where we have to find the electric field from the center of the dipole. This distance is very, very large compared to the size of the dipole. In other words, we are very, very far from the dipole. In that case, in this denominator, that r square minus a square can be substituted by r square. Because a is very small, it can be neglected, and therefore E axial in this case will be nearly equal to, see, this is an exact relation, so I have put equal sign, but this is an approximate relation. The greater is the value of r compared to a, the better is the approximation. So this becomes 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, 2 will be there, p vector will be there, r will be there, and this denominator will become, instead of r square minus a square, we'll write r square and then its square, so it becomes r power 4, and this r and this will cancel, so it becomes r cube. So this is an important relation which you have to remember. On the axis, the electric field for a dipole is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 p vector by r cube, for, you must remember that this formula should be valid only for r very, very large than a. If r is not very large compared to a, this is your answer. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught twice of p vector times r by r square minus a square whole square. One more case we shall discuss on the equatorial line or perpendicular bisector of the dipole. Let's see. You can see here there is a dipole minus q plus q, separation 2a. This is the perpendicular bisector. So this is a line that line you can turn in this plane. All these lines will be perpendicular bisector of this. That plane will be called as equatorial plane. On that plane we have chosen one point. At that point we wish to find the electric field. So this is the perpendicular bisector. Because it is bisector, this I have chosen as A, this is R. So this distance will be under root R square plus A square. This distance is also root under R square plus A square. Now due to the positive charge, the electric field will be directed away from it. Due to the negative charge, electric field will be directed towards it. Similar method we will do as in case of axial case. We will use the principle of superposition. So this is E plus vector and this is E minus vector. And as we have discussed, both these vectors have same magnitude. E plus vector and E minus vector, their magnitudes are same, which I will call as E. And its value will be how much? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught charge Q by, at this point we are finding electric field. So what is this distance? Root under R square plus A square. That distance is square, so we will get R square plus A square. This I will denote by E. Now to find the resultant of these two vectors, what we will do, we will choose a line parallel to the base of the dipole as x-axis. So this we will choose as x-axis, and the line which is perpendicular to this, that is the perpendicular bisector itself, we will choose it as y-axis. Let us quickly resolve. So E plus can be resolved, one in this direction, one in this direction. Let this angle be theta. If that angle is theta, then can you guess what will be the components? This will be, see, E plus its magnitude is E, so I will write it as E cos theta, and this one I will write as E sin theta. Now since I have chosen this x-axis as parallel to the base of the dipole, this angle I have chosen as theta, so by geometry I can say this angle is also theta. Now this is an isosceles triangle, these two sides are equal, therefore this angle must be theta. And if this is theta, this line is parallel to this angle must also be theta. So this vector E minus vector, when we resolve that, there will be one component like so, that component will be how much? E cos theta. And there will be one component like so, that component will be how much? E sin theta. Now it's quite easy to see that these two components, E sin theta over here, E sin theta over here, they cancel each other. Therefore the net electric field E on the equatorial line, its magnitude will be how much? So I am not putting vector sign. It will be E cos theta plus E cos theta. E cos theta plus E cos theta. So we will get twice of E cos theta is equal to twice of E. E value we can put 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square plus A square into cos theta. You can choose this triangle. Cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. Base is A and hypotenuse is root under R square plus A square. If we wish to write the vector form, now can you tell me the direction of equatorial field will be in the direction of p cap or opposite to p cap? Remember what is p cap? It is unit vector from minus q to plus q. So this is our unit vector p cap. The net electric field, you can see it's clear that E cos theta and E cos theta, they must be in this direction. This direction is opposite to p cap. Therefore the direction will be minus p cap. That minus you can write here, so you will get this as the answer. It can be further solved. If you remember, we have written q times this. This 2 we can put over here. This q times 2a times p cap, q 2a p cap will replace by how much, students? This is nothing but your dipole moment vector. If you put that q and 2a and p cap, that you can replace by p vector. And this r square plus a square and this root r square plus a square, root means the power is half, that and this together they will become power 3 by 2. So this is the answer for equatorial electric field. And as we have discussed in the earlier case, if your r is very large compared to size of the dipole, then in the base r square plus a square, a becomes negligibly small, so we will neglect it. So this becomes, a square will be cancelled. What will be left, students? R square to the power 3 by 2. That is how much? R cube. So therefore, equatorial electric field will become then nearly equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p vector upon that we can write as r cube. But remember, when should we use this formula? This formula will be used only for r very large compared to a. If r is comparable to a, it is not very large compared to a, you should not use this formula. In that case, we will use this formula. So be careful while solving questions on electric field to dipoles. Please see whether the given distance r is quite large compared to a or it is comparable. Accordingly, you choose the correct formula. Okay students, I'll stop here. Please, on the basis of this, you try to solve this question. Earlier I had given one assignment based on that query, and then based on this dipole field, example 1.10 from NCERT. Please try this, you can do it easily. And again I request to all of you to complete those assignments, and if you find some problem, please put them in the query list so that it can be answered. Thank you. See you in the next class.